3 minutes of max fatigue test to work. 3 minutes of 400 watts. Cork looked like it was reading a bit lower than the kicker. Like for zone 2, it's like spot on in 200 watts erg mode, and the cork is dancing either side of 200. 400 watts erg, it was averaged out at like 380. But I'm pretty sure the old cork on the old Trinity was pretty much reading spot on with the kicker, like give or take, very close. Obviously I'm used to it, the left sided reading significantly lower, but the weird thing about this cork is it's reading lower, but then it's saying my left-right balance is 50-50. So, you know, got to train with it a bit more, figure out how it reads compared to the power meters I'm used to. But yeah, 3 minutes, probably time to exhaustion, maybe 7. I mean, I'm in the aggressive TT position. Calves very achy. Back to the forward cleat. Doing that to help keep my knees further backwards. Get away with a saddle that's further forwards. So yeah, give myself time to adjust to it. Session today, I'll do 4 by 12 minutes TT threshold. I think I'll stick it in erg mode, maybe 350 watts, not my 370 that I'm used to on the road bike. Because I did like 40 minutes at 370 on the kicker. But you know, start off easy and then build into it over the next few weeks. Taken bicarb caffeine. Also made more of the xanthan gum sugar slurry because it's basically like a gel. Cheap man's gel, so I use that for the first hour and a half, and then I've got some solid food. Finish off this session with like 40 minutes of heat. So change the bikes over, change over to the TCR, the rim brake, 40 minutes of heat to finish off the session, then also do a gym session later. So good big Monday's training session to start the week. Third day on as well, so heavy legs is not too unexpected. Gotta get back to it somehow. That was a bit of a reality check. Really not as fit as I thought I was. Like 4 by 12 minutes, 350 watts erg mode. Like that shouldn't be that hard. That should be quite an easy session. And yeah, I mean, I made some adjustments. My calves are on fire, but for the second effort onwards, I was able to activate my glutes, my quads, my hamstrings, and my whole legs were working hard. But still, just 340 watts from the cork, 49.51 left-right balance. But yeah, just tough, man. Just not got that efficiency in the TT position, not got the fitness. I thought I was doing all right, to be honest. I was end of the winter, end of the track season. I was like surprised at how good my threshold was still without the work on it, despite just doing really the high-end stuff and trying to maintain the threshold. But apparently, after that 5-day break, I've lost a lot of fitness. But yeah, I'm sure we'll bounce back. Keep working at it. More time on the TT bike because I haven't been able to ride the TT bike. It's just like zone 2 because I only got the new Trinity a couple of weeks ago, and I had my P3C as my track bike. So maybe it's like efficiency in the TT position, a lot of just general fitness. But yeah, just knuckle down with the training, and yeah, do the best we can. Still not sure about the data from Saturday, still seems a bit off, but maybe I do have 70 watts more to gain. 40 minutes of heat training, that was 250 watts erg mode, but recording on the left side of power meter, so woo, sweaty boy, be glad you can't smell me right now. Yeah, good that. Been a while since I did the heat training, but get back to it, get consistent with it, and try and reap the benefits of it, but be careful not to overdo it. Been off completely last season, basically, because felt like it wasn't worth the risk. Speaking to Simon about it, I've been dabbling with it over the winter. Haven't managed to get it done consistently, really. Like one session a week for a couple of weeks in a row was all I managed, just because like when I'd plan and do a couple sessions a week, I end up deciding it would have been a bit too much for that week, and potentially overdoing it. So, but if I can ramp it up during the next few weeks and months, that'd be good. Kind of like, I kind of have those seeds of doubt. It's like, what if I just approached it all wrong? You know, I just wasn't doing enough during the winter. But you know, I made a call. I made an approach during the 2025 season. I found that a much more conservative approach to the training was much better for me, and I continued to improve off the back of that. And I felt much better for it. I wasn't getting overtrained like I was in 2024, where I was just trying to push the volume along with the intensity too much. And then this winter was similar sort of approach. 2024, I'd completely overdone it and got to mid-February, March, and I was just absolutely cooked. And yeah, I've had a really good winter, I thought. It's been different with the high intensity on the track and a lower volume to compensate for that higher intensity. But yeah, now I'm getting into the season, I'm just like, am I going to be just shit? But you know, just gotta trust it. Just I'm getting back to more normal volumes now. Don't panic. Don't like start smashing 20-hour weeks, because I'm not going to be able to accommodate that. But get back to good volume, good intensity, consistency. That's the main thing. And then yeah, I'm sure things will turn around. But I'm just a bit surprised at like why I'm not feeling as I feel good, but like the power's just not there for some reason. My reference points are just a bit out of whack. Like it feels like a certain amount of effort, and it's just not coming across in terms of the numbers. But yeah, keep working at it, and I'm sure things will turn around. But if not, we'll have to try something radical. Been feeling a bit down this afternoon after my session. You know, remembering that just keep going and stick to the process, and I'm sure things will turn around. I chat with my parents about the same thing. Yeah, we just have to take it as it comes, you know. Like, hopefully the power returns. If it doesn't, then have to figure out another way to go faster. I was really happy with my performance at the British Champs IP just a couple of weeks ago, and I know that I can transition that into a good TT season. So yeah, just need to refine my legs, even though I feel absolutely fine. For some reason the power's not here, but yeah, it will come with time, so it's all good. Wouldn't be me without getting autistically obsessed with something random in the evening. So I'd ordered some 140mm disc rotors with the idea that I could, because I've got 140s on the TT bike, the idea I could use these as training wheels. So I was going to switch that 160 out for a 140, remove the wheel, and then flip that around to move the caliper down to set it up as a 140. But there wasn't enough. Couldn't pull enough slack through with the hose that's in there at the moment. So yeah, I just had to end up just putting it back together. But thankfully, it's all working fine still. I leave it as a 160 for the road bike, and then if I do want to use it as a training wheel, I can just take the rotor off, put the 140 on, and then use it on the TT bike. Also, finally put my saddle back on the track bike, so move that super far forward, playing around with. Yesterday I kind of decided that there was kind of 3 things that I should be working on over the next few weeks, and all of those are really important in getting back to some good fitness. So the first one is just getting the training hours in to increase that fitness. Obviously I've had a lighter winter, and I feel like I've lost quite a bit of form from that 5-day break, whereas if I'd had a heavier winter, then I feel like I would have felt really good after that 5-day break. I feel good, I just haven't had the training hours in. The second would be getting that time in the TT position, just getting adapted to it again. Again, I haven't ridden the TT bike Zone 2 on the turbo over winter, so I haven't had that adaptation to producing power in the TT position. And then the third one is basically understanding how the cork works. So understand the power meter so that it can be useful. Yeah, back to training, but not doing anything too silly, just easing my way back into it still. So yeah. So today I was like, I'm in an hour and about, okay, should I put the TT bike on the turbo and just get used to riding the position? But I think for today it's just like it's an alright day, and
I think I'll be better off just getting out on the road bike, getting some miles in. Need to get the miles in somewhere, and this is kind of my day for it. So yeah, get out for a good 3 and a bit hours, zone 2.
2 and a bit hours into my ride, be about just over 3. Grey skies, bit cold to start out with and wet, cleared up, it's warming up a little bit and nice and dry. Just tapping away, getting the hours in. Did accidentally almost bonk myself. So I've been making that xanthan gum sugar slurry to take the bicarb, which is essentially a cheap gel. So I've been trying to do stuff over the past few months to be a bit kinder on my teeth, so like jam sandwiches on the turbo rather than sugar water. And I reckon gel is also better because you can just slurp it down. It doesn't make as much contact with your teeth. Made a bunch of that. I've got it in a small bottle, but I wasn't drinking enough of it. Like, I took the lid off and so much is left after 2 hours. Should have been well over halfway through it and most of it was left. So yeah, wasn't fueling well for the first 2 hours of this ride, but had some big slurps in the fast half an hour and I'll polish it off before I get home. There we go, nice ride that. I guess for the past 2 years, the crisis around me being a rubbish cyclist has come from my subpar performance in road races, and this year I've realised that I just don't have the head for it and I don't really want to be doing any road races or crit racing. I guess that crisis has to be about time trialling, so pretty normal for me this time of year, but at least my slump hasn't got anything to do with overtraining. It's been there, done that. At least I've learned from that one. Lovely Thursday morning here at Derby Velodrome for a track session. So I do the pursuit slot, sprint slot, then continue on to Colville to help out Matt and Kate at the shop. Second time trial of the season tomorrow. So I'm gonna kind of play it by ear with the session today. Not go absolutely crazy, but get a decent session in, get some decent testing done. Good warm up for tomorrow rather than but yeah, obviously not bury myself. So I had a good 3 and a bit hour ride yesterday, do a track session today and then race tomorrow, so it's going to be 3rd day on. Should be good. I imagine I'll be fine. It's the Good Friday 10 miler, V714 in Hull. Classic event for me, done it for the past 2 years. The conditions are looking kind of a bit harsh, like pretty strong winds and rain, but regardless, it will be a good benchmarker for me because I know the course really well. See how I'm trending. Spin data result from last weekend wasn't actually that bad, but yeah, I know that it wasn't a great performance from me, and there's a lot to build on from that. So yeah, hopefully I do a better performance tomorrow, and gives me a better idea of kind of where I'm at and what I need to be working on going forward. But yeah, start out with have a good velodrome session this morning. Good track session there. Ended up doing the same as last week, so that was 7 by 2k, so 4 efforts in the first hour for the pursuit slot, and then second hour and a half did 3 more efforts. A bit of a aggressive openers session for Good Friday 10 miler tomorrow, but I mean, normally I just ride, if I do an openers ride, it's pretty easy, or I just have a rest day before a race, so it's worth experimenting with, seeing if doing some more openers is, so like 7 by 2k, that's quite a lot, but some people find they need some harder, longer efforts to best prepare for a race. So early season race, worth experimenting with. My stomach was feeling really off last night and this morning, but got into my session and thankfully it was all right. I didn't have to do an emergency trip to the toilet or anything.
But yeah, 7x2K, got to experiment with like a couple of different positions. So yeah, I'll see what the data looks like when I get home, but continue on to Colville now and see Matt at the shop and have a chat with him about what I was thinking about the 10 miler last week, because wasn't too happy with it, to be honest. It's early season and got lots of time to build from it, so all good. Also met a couple of new guys at the track today, both competing at Lee Valley tomorrow. So Ryan, who was doing some individual pursuing, and then a guy doing some sprints who had a pretty crazy setup. So really interesting to have a look at that and doing his openers for tomorrow. Faces you meet at Derby. Nav wants me to go do some real world aero testing at a Hatfield course in preparation for the National 10, clearly. It's funny the suggestions it comes up with. My club did an event on the course, but I guess it was pretty much coming up on 2 years ago. It was mid-April, but funny sound. He said I was really struggling being 0 centimeters behind the bottom bracket. It keeps on twisting, having to tighten it up. So I think I'll just loosen that off and maybe 2 centimeters behind the bottom bracket, something like that. Good session at the track today, and then went to see Matt. So it's 9:24 now. So I need to unpack all my stuff, and then I am racing Good Friday 10 miler in Hull tomorrow. Late morning for me, 20 to 12 is my start time. Conditions are looking pretty grim at the moment. Like heavy, it's changed to heavy rain, gusty breezes. So the event could get called off, but gotta get up and get to the event as though it's going to be on, unless I get an email that it's cancelled before. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope the conditions are all right and we get a ride in and can get a good one under the belt and a bit better than last week. Good openers from today. Bit ambitious for me, but see how I respond to that as well, because that'll be interesting to see if doing a bit more the day before is good or bad for me. So worth using an early season race to test that sort of thing. Rise and shine, motherfucker. 2 early starts in a row. That's gonna get me. Feeling pretty tired, but no, that might have better. Feeling better, but yeah. Weather forecast has changed again, so it's looking a little bit better. Light rain and moderate breeze, so just like a strong crosswind and a bit of rain. So I imagine the event will go on, which is good. So yeah, we'll get out there and see. It's just before 7 now. If I leave just before 9, get there around 10, and then I'm starting at 20 to 12. So that should work out nicely. So yeah, get myself ready. Make sure I've got everything. Probably do some stretching. My lower back's been pretty tight. Did a little bit of stretching it out last night, but do a round of stretching. Have a breakfast, all the jazz, and get on the road. Yeah, I just need to pack my bag and check I've got everything. Got the trophy out. Did get it engraved as well. And I think I've got everything ready. Just going up to 10 to 9 now, so get on the road and get going. Pretty much exactly an hour and a half to go, which is kind of sweet spot timing wise for me. So go in, then get my number, go to Lou, and then get ready. Breezy, but grey skies. Might stay dry. We'll see.
It's been a hell of a job getting it going today. One or two know the reasons why, but we
Managed to defend the title, the Good Friday World Championships, as Ben Williams calls it. Did a 19:25. It was the right wind direction, but pretty windy on the day. And kind of just felt like I was pushing really quite hard the whole time, like pushing on the way out, and then kind of was able to get more power on the way back, even though I was into a tailwind. But yeah, 19:25. I mean, that's a PB for this course. Like I said, it's the preferred wind direction, getting a tailwind on the way back, because it's a longer leg on the way back, but it was pretty windy and crosswindy, so not amazing conditions. You never get really amazing conditions on this course. But yeah, happy with that ride. 400 watts, which on the new power meter could have been, compared to the old one, more like 415, 420 probably. So yeah, half decent power wise. And yeah, just getting used to it, getting back to things. But that was definitely felt like a better ride than I did last week. So happy with that. Had to just absolutely bundle my shit in the car because I was last rider off, or second last rider, and I missed the presentation last year, so I just bunged everything in the car, drove to the little car park by the village hall, and then went inside and yeah, got all my stuff. Let's go. So yeah, I'm gonna tidy my stuff up here and then actually go back out to the course and do a little bit of aero testing between the railway and the motorway bridge. See how I'm feeling, see how many runs I decide to get done, but be good to do a little bit. Time for a little bit of aero testing on a pretty crosswindy day. At least we've got flat roads around here. So I just go back and forth between the railway bridge and the motorway bridge, which is like the smoothest section of road. It's pretty twisty, so you experience probably a lot of wind directions doing that. But yeah, it's nice. So let's see how many runs I get doing. There we go. Really good, productive aero testing session there. So like I said, it was kind of an out and back between the two hills. And it's about a 2 and a bit mile stretch, so you get up to speed, and then it's 2 and a bit miles on the flat testing position, so 2 miles out, 2 miles back, which took about 10 minutes per run, with turning around as well. About threshold power, well, probably where my threshold is at the moment, so it's like that was like 350 watts from the cork, which could be like more like 370 from the kicker, but I've still got fitness to gain, still got to understand how this cork reads, but main thing, I was consistent between runs, so I did A, B, 4 sets of out and backs, and took a bit over an hour, and yeah, really nice little productive session. That wind did pick up a bit. I mean, it was windy throughout. Tailwind out, headwind back, 50 plus k an hour, and then like coming close to 48 k an hour, which was really nice. Probably more like 46, like 50, 52 or something. At threshold, that's on this course, that's pretty good. I think the last run, it was quite busy. A bit busy. It's still a quiet road, but it was definitely busier. And I think the wind had picked up for that final run, because I noticed I was going quite a bit faster, and then a bit of a slog for the final one. Car's still a mess, but tidy that up and then head on home. I was on the turbo, working on the position, working on my shrug a little bit, so trying to get the shoulders forward, squeezing my elbows against the edge of the pads to bring my shoulders in narrower. It's something I tried last year. I tested it at the start of April on the same section of V714 course that I was on Friday, doing my testing. It didn't test any faster, but I'm thinking, it's worth experimenting with it more. It works for most people, so you push against the outside of the elbow cups and it does bring the shoulders in. So if you can learn to hold that, and it is actually faster. It's something where I deliberately haven't even bothered with it on the track, because I feel like if I was trying to squeeze, I'd be too tight and I wouldn't be able to handle the bike, wouldn't naturally go around the corners the way it needs to. But for outdoor time trialing in a straight line, worth playing around with it, and I think I'm planning on going to Hatfield tomorrow, do a threshold session there, and combine that with some aero testing. And I think I'll test if the shrug is any effective for me, because looking at pictures from Friday, I feel like this new position could do with a longer helmet. You could kind of do the same thing by doing the shrug, turtling the neck inwards, bringing the shoulders forward. So that's what I'm going to be playing around with, try that out. But yeah, good ride on the turbo, and
heart rate monitor's all over the shop, but sometimes it's on 140, sometimes it's at 100, sometimes it's at 90, but yeah, some good time thinking about the position, like playing around with different things, seeing how they feel. Always feels hard on the turbo because you've not got as much pressure on the legs to take the pressure off the saddle, but yeah, good stuff.